What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the PB&J Wrestling Podcast, episode 11. Today's episode, we're basically just going to be discussing WrestleMania nights 1 and 2 and the Raw after WrestleMania. So just a complete fallout for you guys. And what a better way to start off this video than to talk about John Cena winning his 17th World Championship in the WWE by defeating Cody Rhodes in the main event of night 2. A very interesting match, to say the least. Don't think it was a great wrestling match. And then obviously the end was very rough with Travis Scott coming out and basically being kind of the whole reason Cena won. I thought that was really stupid. We didn't see The Rock, which I thought was really dumb as well. I mean, he put himself into this storyline probably just for his own ego and couldn't even bother to show up for one night at WrestleMania. I think that's ridiculous. But aside from that, John Cena is a 17-time champion, so I'm super happy about that. Obviously wanted him to win, and now you get John Cena probably going on a crazy heel title run, and we obviously know he's going to be feuding with Randy Orton, probably setting up a match for Backlash, so super excited for that.
Yeah, I mean, you said that it was interesting. That match was interesting in the same way that the shit I took earlier was interesting. I mean, it sucks because for years I was like, I really want Cena to win the 17th world title, become world champion again. I've been thinking about that since I was like 12. Well, it finally happened, and I just kind of my live reaction was I saw it, sighed a little bit, turned the TV off, and just kind of went do my own thing. I'm happy that Cena won the title, and I think the title reign will be good. We're going to get to the aftermath of what's going to happen at Backlash in a little bit. But as far as the actual main event and the actual story, I said on this very program that the storyline doesn't make any fucking sense. The heel turn didn't actually make sense. They were so wrapped up in the John Cena heel turn that they didn't make sure that the story made sense. I was hoping that didn't backfire, and that did backfire, because what the fuck was that main event? Travis Scott coming out, helping John Cena. Why John Cena, who is the greatest of all time, they're announcing him as that and promoting him as that. Why he needs help from a 140-pound rapper to win the world title, I'm not sure why. I mean, I had as much business being out there as Travis Scott did. So that part, it makes sense. And what sucks is Cody Rhodes, he was tough enough to try to kill AJ Styles with steel steps. He was tough enough to go out there with, AJ Styles, Roman Reigns, and just be violent. He was tough enough to give the crossroads to random security guards. But for some reason, he was too much of a bitch to hit John Cena, the guy who tried to kill him at Elimination Chamber. He was too scared. He was not man enough to hit him with the title, and decided, I'm too pure. I'm too pure for this. Let me not do it, and then just get kicked in the balls with the belt, and that's the finish. The match wasn't good. I kept waiting for them to. I don't say it was bad. It just was boring. I kept waiting for them to get into that second gear, and get exciting, and never got exciting in my opinion. And then the Travis Scott thing didn't make any sense, and The Rock not showing up. I am by no means taking credit for this. I saw someone say that there's a theory that The Rock just decides to show up on any random night of WWE television, and they need to figure out something for him. It has nothing to do with the storylines that they're actually telling. The Rock didn't do any favors to the story. In fact, he made it worse. They could have made sense, but they didn't. Yeah, I'm just not a fan. It was a very disappointing end of WrestleMania, in my opinion.
Oh yeah. I'll just start out with that Rock thing that you were talking about. We were probably gonna bring it up anyways, but if you guys didn't see, he was on I think it was that Monday. Was it that Monday morning right after Mania? Yeah, he was on Pat McAfee.
Yeah, Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah, he was on Pat McAfee. I think he was at his house or wherever he was. And he just the thing I liked what you said, Pete, about he just shows up and they have to figure something out. He said that he showed up to Elimination Chamber because I forget who asked him. Nick Khan? Is that who it was? Yeah, Nick Khan asked him.
I did see that.
Nick Khan was like, hey, ticket sales are a little slow, and we want to get some, Elimination Chamber is one of our bigger pay-per-views. We want to get some big press or, sales. And, The Rock gave his "let me think about it" thing. And it just seemed like he said, like, he showed up, and then they had to think of something. So they're like, why doesn't John turn? Mind you, it may not. He might have just described it wrong or like weirdly, but it just kind of just came off of, why not? Let's just change what we were gonna do. That kind of made me a little weird. Like, we found out about it like the next day after the main event, but just the main event itself. I mean, like Peter said, like, why did he question the hit Cena? I mean, in the Kevin Owens feud, he already did the thing where he's like, he's not afraid to get to that point.
That's what I was talking about. Yeah.
So why does he had to go through the whole bloodline last year just to beat Roman 2 nights? One low blow, it ends it. Like, that's the thing that I didn't understand. I mean, I felt like the match was one of those like Raw or like house show matches where like it's just two big names having a nice safe match. Also, what ruined it for me was, I don't know if you guys saw this, you could see Cena calling the spot.
Oh,
I
yeah.
saw that too. I was cracking up when he was doing that.
I was like,
When he
dude,
was
at least hide
drunk,
it.
dude.
Like,
He's always done that though.
like, I know, like, it's the camera's right on him, but like everyone does such a good job nowadays with hiding him. You just see him. I could legit see him say like "Throw me against the ropes," and then just go throw him.
It's
I mean,
so
like,
funny.
I love Cena. Like you guys both said, we're excited for his 17th title run and everything that's going to come along with it. I mean, I feel like Backlash is going to be great. His feuds are going to be great. Also, another thing that pissed me off is how long Travis Scott got to the ring.
Dude,
Like, I know
yeah, making the whole thing about himself, bro. That pissed me
I
off.
know he wasn't going to come out sprinting, but come on.
Yeah, no, that was annoying.
And like all we get is Cena sitting there laughing for a while. And I mean, like, it is funny because I didn't realize like Trevor's not a small guy by any chance, but like when he's next to these huge people, like it just shows like there's a quote really no shot that he was gonna do anything. Like, it would have made sense. Like, what I thought was because he was walking slow, maybe The Rock comes in from behind, attacks him that way. No, we just didn't even see The Rock because The Rock claimed on Pat McAfee then again he wasn't needed after Elimination Chamber, which that's a whole nother tangent about. I mean, the match was, let's be honest, like mid. Like, it started out fine. I like that Cena came out to nothing besides just like a font that said John Cena. That was funny.
I like that.
Him getting his 17th was great. Cody's entrance was great. I liked his mask. It started out fine. I liked how Cena was taking his time with everything, like the 5 moves of Doom. But then, like, I was like, okay, he's gonna kick out of this like low blow, or like something's gonna happen. But no, it just ended. Like, I was just like Pete said, I was just like, what? Pete, or not Pete?
Oh, yeah.
Champion a little bit, but I was like, huh, Cena's champ, and then it's just him and Travis, and it ends. I was like, okay. So yeah, a little disappointed, especially compared to night one's main event. I was saying before we started the podcast, if it was WrestleMania was one night and they took night two's all the matches before the main event and cut out the main event and swapped it out for the main event and night one, that would have been one heck of a pay-per-view. That would have been so, I mean, I would have enjoyed it so much. But I mean, like we were talking about before in the other podcast, that we were scared that was going to live up to WrestleMania 40 just on the hype and us being there and just all the matches and stuff. And man, it really did not. I mean, there was still gems in there that we're going to talk about, but yeah, I'm very disappointed, like everyone else in the wrestling community, about the main event.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? Like, a lot of people on the internet are saying like, oh, like he told us like he's gonna ruin wrestling and that's why the match was bad. I just don't really like that because it's the main event of WrestleMania. It should at least be a solid match. But like you were talking about how he was taking his time with the moves, and I guess that was his like version of like ruining wrestling when he was like doing the shoulder tackles and like Cody was staying on the mat. But like, how does that? I don't understand that because when he does those moves, his opponent gets up right away to take the next move and the next move. So Cody was just laying there. So I don't really understand if that's what they were trying to tell us. Like, oh, this is him ruining wrestling, because I don't understand that whatsoever. And then like back to the point where you guys are saying that Cody Rhodes was too scared to hit him with the title. The only logical reason I could like think of is that he still thinks Cena's his hero. But like, I don't know. I do agree that it's kind of just like, I don't know. I guess it wasn't technically a no DQ match, but either way, I don't know. Sloppy ending to a mediocre match. But now we can Move on to the next big thing for John Cena, which is Cena versus Orton at Backlash. Sorry, and obviously we saw John Cena cut his promo on Raw, and then Randy Orton hit him with an RKO from behind, got a huge pop, especially when he picked up the title. I am super excited for this just because this is the greatest rivalry of all time, in my opinion, greatest rivalry of our childhoods. So we finally get to see them run it back one more time. We were all hoping, when John Cena announced his retirement tour, that we would get matches like Randy Orton, CM Punk, AJ Styles, which I think we're going to get all of them. So I'm just super happy that we are finally getting into the Randy Orton feud. And the build is already there. Like, you have a heel John Cena taking on a face Randy Orton for the very first time, like, in their careers. Like, usually it's the other way. It's a babyface Cena and a heel Orton. So I think that's really cool. Super excited for this match. And I would assume, obviously, that John Cena retains in this match.
It would be insane if he didn't. But it would be awesome in the sense of Orton beating him. But then the problem is and like we might be a little too young to remember this, but there was a period where it felt like every pay-per-view, I'm thinking like I want to say 2009. I might be getting the year wrong, where like they were kind of hot potatoing the title a little bit, Cena and Orton, like every pay-per-view. You don't want that. I mean, Cena did just win the belt. But either way, I'm excited for the match, excited for what they do with it. Hopefully it's a good story. I feel like there's been a bad habit with, not to be negative, but recently it feels like they've been riding the hype of the match too much, and they've kind of abandoning the story a little bit, if that makes sense. Like Cena versus Cody, and that was kind of it. Cena versus Orton can be a really good story if told properly, and I just hope they do it. But excited for the match. I like the way they did it. How Cena was like, "Everyone, get your cameras out," and then he turns around. And, shit. And I got scared. That was awesome. I was a big fan of that. I think Cena's gonna win. I think Cena's gonna carry the belt for a while, and lose it. I think he's gonna lose it well before December.
Yeah, I think so too.
I don't think he's gonna hold it. Yeah. Everything's gonna happen at SummerSlam, but I don't think he's gonna hold it all the way to December because I think then it would just make his last match predictable. But excited for Orton versus Cena. It's gonna be good.
Not yet. I was excited when I saw it. I texted both of you guys saying like, why do I kind of want Orton to beat Cena for the title? It's not gonna happen, but man, I would really enjoy that. It would be funny too. That Cena, they're not gonna do it, but it would be. I've said it in a million videos, and I'll say it again. Orton's my favorite wrestler of all time, probably now. So I'm always down for Orton title reign. And like Brendan said, it's crazy that in 2025, Orton's the face and Cena is the heel. It's going to be interesting to see how they play off of that. They're probably going to play mostly off their history and Orton being like, you changed, like stuff like that. You know how they're probably going to do it. I think it's going to be, I can't say a great match because I think Cena is a little limited now at his age. I mean, I don't know. It might. Hopefully, it's not. But I would hope to see a AA RKO like they did back in the day. That would be pretty fun to see. And its Backlash is in Randy Orton's hometown, so he's going to be. That crowd is going to be behind them so much. I think it's a great idea to instantly set up a new feud for Cena. I was scared that he was going to show up on Monday, just say like "I told you so" and leave, or like Cody comes out, But yeah, I'm enjoying it, and I can't wait to see when Randy and Cena are face to face again. I think this could be entertaining, and I'm happy for Randy because Randy said a million times in interviews he wanted to have one more match with Cena, and he finally gets it.
Yeah, I wanted to say like this feud for John Cena is perfect because obviously we saw Cody Rhodes was getting booed on both SmackDown and at WrestleMania because everybody just wanted John Cena to win. They don't care if he's a bad guy. They want Cena to win 17. So that hurt Cody a little bit that he was getting booed. He flipped the crowd on SmackDown, but didn't do that at WrestleMania. So in my opinion, this is perfect because, like you said, Backlash is in St. Louis. It's in Randy's hometown. Nobody's going to boo Randy Orton. And not even just because of that. Randy Orton's been in the company for 20 plus years. So like everybody loves Randy. So it's the perfect opponent for John Cena. That way people can boo John Cena and cheer Randy Orton. So I think that WWE saw that and took advantage of it. But yeah.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. One question I had to ask though, gentlemen, is what's gonna happen with Cody?
Yeah, so my
Where's
prediction, I think he's gonna take time off. And I think that he's gonna like have this gimmick that he's too ashamed to show up because he lost the title to John Cena in the way that he did, and he's not gonna want to show up. And I think John Cena will have a couple feuds with like Randy, hopefully Punk at Money in the Bank, and then I think Cody eventually comes back to confront Cena, and then we get a Cody like redemption arc, and then you get Cody versus Cena at SummerSlam, and then you have Cody win the title back. That's my prediction.
Mine is kind of in the same sense, but I want them to play more off of like Cody still believing in himself, because I feel like they kind of keep doing this to Cody, where it's like he's questioning his strength and like him as a wrestler. When he lost at Mania in 39, he questioned himself. And like last year when he lost night one, I feel like if they play the more of "you can't beat me" clean, like, I feel like that would be interesting. Like I agree with Brennan. I don't think he's gonna be back for a little bit. He's probably gonna come back at a pay-per-view or after one of Cena's matches. I really hope it's not after Randy. I really hope they do let him take a break, because I don't think he's had a break since injury, if I'm like a long, decent break, unless I'm forgetting the time. But no, yeah, I don't know. I don't really want to see them have another match very soon. I know they probably will. It just seemed like they didn't really click. So like I like what Brendan said, that like, is this a good match for Cena for like the crowd, but also like he obviously has chemistry with Randy. It's gonna be like he knows Randy's moves, everything. They know each other so well. So at least give Cena like some comfort in the fact that he knows what to expect with Randy. So, but yeah, I don't think Cody comes back for a little bit too.
I agree. My question it's more of a suggestion. When's the last time they did a good old fashioned double turn, where let's say Cody comes back, it's Cody versus Cena at SummerSlam, rematch for the WWE title, and if they do it right, and I know it would be a very short time of Cena being a heel, but imagine they did it right, where Cody within the match and then after the match wins, and then Cody turns heel, Cena turns face same night.
That would be interesting.
That would be something.
Because here's the thing, the crowd is kind of naturally having that happen anyway.
Yeah.
I feel like wherever you go, and they're going to be at MetLife for SummerSlam, if they do that rematch at SummerSlam, I feel like the crowd cheering Cena and booing Cody isn't out of the realms of possibilities. Like, I feel like that'll happen. So, and I also do think that Cena's going to finish his career as a face. I think he's going to turn. I think he's going to turn back.
Has to.
So, I do think it would be very interesting to finally get heel Cody just snapping and just like doing like heelish shit to beat Cena. I don't know. It could be interesting. Not saying they should do it or will do it. I just think it's interesting. I do think Cody I think Cody should be different. I think when Cody comes back, if he's just the same version of Cody, that's weak. That's weak sauce. But yeah.
Bring back the black hair. That would be something that would be wild. But I mean, yeah, I agree with that. I've heard mixed things that I was thinking that too. You know, funny. Bring back Stardust too. But I was thinking, or I heard, like I'm hearing mixed things that like obviously the Rock's would take it with whatever you want to, but he said Cena was pumped to turn heel. I've heard other people saying Cena wasn't really like behind it, but he's a team player, so he will do it. I want Cena as a face. I mean, I'm not going to go on a long tangent about it, but we've seen that, like, especially recently. I don't know if you guys saw, he was on Pat McAfee too, and he wasn't like cooking the crowd, but like he was still kind of, but like it came off more of a, no, this is how I truly feel. Like, you guys have ruined me. Like, I don't want to take it no more. Like, so I'm curious if like this is truly how Cena feels and he can finally express it. I mean, he was admitting things like he got a hair transplant.
Yeah,
I don't know how true that is. You might just be BSing, but like like you kind of feel bad for him to a point where he put all this effort in, but I don't know. But yeah, I think Cody's got to change something up, even if it's just more intensity, like a Punisher, like the Punisher. Like he's not a bad guy, but he's really not a good guy. He just does what he has to do, wins matches, does whatever he needs, doesn't trust anyone. So, but yeah, I agree with you, Pete, that Cody needs to change something up.
Yeah. I wish Cena did win 17 as a babyface. Like, I'll say it. I know everyone is excited for the heel turn, but like, just imagine the moment of like him winning as a face and celebrating with the crowd, and then like everyone just being super emotional. Like him winning, like I'm obviously still pumped that he won, but like it didn't feel as like it kind of felt like bittersweet because like he did it in like the wrong way and he couldn't celebrate with the fans. He couldn't really smile. So it left a sour taste in my mouth, but I just wanted to say that.
Does
But
he look weird with the title to you guys, or is that just me? Like something about not like him with it, like the WWE Championship, just the design of it. Does it look weird to you guys, or is that just me? Like
bring
something
back
just
the
looks.
spinner.
I would do. I'm so about it. Like something just looks off. Like it looks like such a Roman. Maybe it's because they're like newer stars, so I'm used to them with that, and I'm just used to Cena with the older design. But I don't know. I've been wanting to say it. It's just something looks off about it.
I like the way that he rocks the title though, like on the backside, and then he has the tail. I think his entrances are cool as shit.
I do like that. Yeah.
But if we're done talking about John Cena, we were talking about Orton before, so we can segue into Randy's WrestleMania match against Joe Hendry, which Pete called. Give him a round of applause for that.
My royalty check from Triple H is coming in the mail soon for booking a match at WrestleMania. Let's fucking go.
I thought this was honestly perfect. Like I know a lot of people were saying Nick Aldis, and that would have been cool. A Rusev debut would have been cool, but then he would have had to lose, which would kind of suck. So I think this is perfect because you get to showcase one of the most over stars in the wrestling industry in Joe Hendry. And he's a TNA champion. He doesn't need to win this match at all. Like here at WrestleMania as a TNA star, like that's all you need. So I thought it was perfect. And then I thought the match was the perfect amount of time. Like it didn't need to be a long match. Like there's no real storyline or feud. So they're obviously not going to do longer than 10 minutes. And obviously, I thought it was hilarious how Orton just RKO'd him when Hendry did his little signature spin around pose. And then Orton hit him with another RKO after the match and then did this spin himself. So I thought that was really funny. But overall, I liked it. I thought it was the right decision.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I just want to say that I've been believing in Joe Hendry before any of y'all. I was watching WCPW, What Culture Pro Wrestling in 2016. Is when Joe Hendry first, was on my radar. But it was really cool to see him at WrestleMania. It is funny that I predicted it, but I think it was the right move. Like I said when I predicted it, showcasing a guy that is going to be signed by WWE. When he is done with TNA, he's going to sign with WWE. I'm not sure when his contract ends. I believe it's in like a year or whatever it is. He's going to WWE. Triple H said it. He's going to be at more WrestleManias. This is not going to be his last WrestleMania.
Yeah, I think. Go ahead. No, all I was gonna say was it was like a safe, fun match. Like it wasn't. I think the match was what 5 minutes. I don't think it was
something like that. Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
You can tell Randy was having a blast. It came out after that Randy was actually the one that handpicked Joe Hendry, so that's always nice to see. And that's a big stamp of approval that one of the besides Cena and a few others, maybe like he's the top respected guy in the company. That's always great to see. I like Brennan said, I thought it was hilarious that he just spun himself into an RKO and then Randy
shot was perfect.
And then Randy shook his hand, let him have his moment, then RKO'd him again, then hit his face on him, just started dying laughing. For Randy's 20th Mania match, which is insane to say, it was it's not like it wasn't like a 5-star classic, but it didn't need to be. It was just it sucked that we didn't get the Kevin Owens match. I was very excited about it, but I'm glad Joe Hendry got his moment. And yeah, I'm just glad it wasn't like Rusev or anyone that they had to quick give them the loss to.
Yeah. I saw someone say like Wasn't Joe Hendry like Rusev's like lawyer in an
Yeah.
episode of Raw? Like back, so everyone is expecting Rusev. We got his lawyer. Like that's hilarious. But no, good for Joe Hendry. Moving on, we could talk about the women's triple threat if you guys want between Io, Rhea, and Bianca, where we had Io Sky retain the title. Thank God. I was really convinced she wasn't going to win because she stood tall like the final couple episodes, and I was convinced for sure Bianca was going to win this match. But I'm so happy that she didn't. And maybe this was like a last minute decision because of how over Io got with the crowd as a face. So I could see that being the way that happened, but I'm super pumped she won. That was probably the best match of night 2. Got her the Fatal 4-Way, which we'll get into. Thought it was a great match and the right winner. Super happy that Io Sky retained.
Yeah, no. I agree. I like the match. I think it was the right move that Io won. I was thinking that they were honestly going to give it to Rhea. I'm not gonna lie. I was thinking that Rhea Ripley was going to win. Which I am a big fan of Rhea Ripley. However, that wouldn't have been the right move. The right move was definitely for Io to win. It's been cool how popular Io has gotten. And yeah, I don't really have too much to say other than that was the right decision.
Yeah. No, I really enjoyed that match. I was nervous, not because I didn't think it was gonna be a good match. I was just nervous because WrestleMania like 1 was so like underwhelming. I was like, oh, I hope this kind of saves it. And this match did start out with a bang. I enjoyed it. Obviously, we know the talent these women have in the match. The crowd was really behind Io and everything she did, which was nice to see her get. I was so excited when Io won because I was scared that either Bianca was going to get it for a second or Rhea Ripley, which I wouldn't have minded Rhea. And to be honest, I wouldn't have minded Bianca so much, but I just like when they give because it felt like Rhea and Bianca kept were in the main event picture for a while, and they still were, and that's not the issue. But I just like when they put the title on like unique or new people, and the crowd's behind EL, so just keep it on her. I think that was a great decision. I think it's second best match of Mania as a whole, maybe third. I mean, the triple threat of night 1, which we'll talk about, was probably the best. But this one might have been my second favorite match. Honestly, I thought it was really well. I really thought Rio was going to get injured when they hit that when Io hit her finisher on the top row. That looked a little brutal, but I mean, I think she's fine. But it was such a good match, and I'm glad Io kept the title.
Yeah, 100%. On Raw, they did have Rhea come out to make the save for her and Stephanie. So it looks like that's probably the next feud at Backlash. But I don't know. I feel like it's kind of repeating itself now. Like they've been feuding for a while. So I'm not sure if I'm 100% a fan of that. But here's my prediction for that. I do think that they will do Rhea versus Io at Backlash for the title. But I think that it will end in some shenanigans. I think that Bianca will return as a heel. I thought she was going to turn heel at WrestleMania. I think she'll turn heel there and come after Rhea because I think that her and Rhea's story is the one that needs to be finished. Because if you think about it, like the heat between them was more so like than with Io in that match. And Io won or retained the title fair and square. So I think that Rhea and Bianca have to finish their story with each other. So I think that gets kickstarted at Backlash, and maybe they have a match at SummerSlam together. Once again, we book like 600 matches for SummerSlam, but I think Rhea versus Bianca at SummerSlam would be a cool match to see. So
yeah, I got a question for you guys about Rhea. I don't think it has to be anything drastic, but do you think they got maybe this is just me, but I feel like do they need to switch something up about Rhea? Like I feel like her character is maybe not getting stale because obviously she's still popular with the crowd. Everyone loves her, but I don't know. It's just like the same thing it was so interesting with the Judgment Day and Dom storyline and her and Damian Priest. I was invested in that. Now I'm just like, oh yeah, it's gonna be a good match, but I don't really care about the build up or Rhea's character. Obviously, I don't think it's got to be something drastic. But what do you guys do? You guys still who's needs a change up, or is that just me a little bit? Not a big one, but a slight one.
yeah, I mean she could maybe use a little bit of a new character. I feel like her promos sometimes get a little repetitive, but overall, yeah, she is super hot with the crowd. So I don't know. I mean, I don't think a heel turn is coming because she's too over with the crowd. So I think it would make more sense for Bianca to turn heel. But they probably could tweak her character a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, they could tweak the character. I don't think they should do anything too crazy because at the end of the day, she's still getting big reactions.
Yeah, I think actually I agree with Brennan. I think if what it probably is, what I notice it the most is when it's her cutting promos sometimes. So it's probably just she needs to either spice up the promos a little bit or something about it. But I think in ring she's one of the better wrestlers. So, but I think it's just her promos. That's what I was more invested with Dom and Damien and all that.
Yeah, I agree. Moving on to the other women's match, we could talk about Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair. This was an interesting match. The feud obviously wasn't great and got personal, and the match was a little rough. We had a lot of botches, and we had Tiffany get her tooth chipped and had a giant welt on her forehead. So the match got a little physical, I guess. And overall, though, I'm just happy that she retained the title. Like I was saying before WrestleMania, she had to win. Like if you just give the title to Charlotte instantly after she comes back, that's just such a waste, and you're not helping your younger talent, your young star, and Tiffany Stratton. So they did make the right decision, but the match definitely could have been better. I'm just happy that this feud is finally over.
Yeah, there's two things I'm gonna say. One, right decision that Tiffany Stratton won. Absolutely, Charlotte should not have won. Two, someone check on Ric Flair because he had a rough weekend. His daughter lost and his record got broken. Well, poor guy, but yeah, no. It wasn't it wasn't the greatest match I ever saw. It wasn't a good feud, but I'm happy it's over and I'm happy Tiffany won.
Yeah, I actually really enjoyed the Tiffany's Barbie entry. I didn't even think of that her doing that, which I thought was pretty neat. But what I'm hearing, once again, shocker, Charlotte was kind of the one being stiff in the ring, from what I heard. I mean, Tiffany kind of was too, but I feel like that might have been more of a response to what Charlotte was doing. I mean, at the end we saw it. I think Tiffany tried throwing Charlotte into the buckle, and she just completely she landed on her feet, then hit. I don't Charlotte's talented all, but this is I don't know how many times it's been. She did that one thing with Becky. She's come out and said a million things. She just seems like she has such a, I don't know if you would call it an attitude issue or thinks she's above people, but it's just so annoying. I don't know. I don't know. It's so annoying. I mean, I don't really care as much because, like you said, the feud's over, and also Tiffany won. That's all I really cared about. But Charlotte, come on, man. Why you always have to have issues with people? I know, I could be it could be a behind the scenes thing where some people everyone's just rude behind scenes, and Charlotte's the only one that we find out about. But come on, this hasn't happened until recently, the past 5-6 years, and it's just so annoying. Charlotte comes back, thinks she's better than someone, tries to embarrass them to get shocker. The person she tries to embarrass doesn't like it, then Charlotte plays I'm just trying to make sure she's ready. What the hell is that? I don't know. I'm just glad Tiffany won, and I'm excited to see what she does after that. I could really care less what Charlotte does, but
yeah, I agree. We also had Jey Uso winning the World Heavyweight Championship to open night one, and a very controversial ending to this one with Gunther tapping out to his own move, the sleeper, which I thought was ridiculous. He tapped out in 5 seconds. I don't know. I don't know why they're doing this. I do I think Jey was the right pick to win, and obviously it was pretty obvious. That was the most obvious match on the card for who was going to win. But the match itself definitely could have been better. It was one of Jay's better matches because you saw him do some actual wrestling moves other than just super kicks. But definitely needed a better ending, and Gunther tapping out to his own move. What are we doing? Gunther's supposed to be this big bad heel in the business. Him and Braun Breaker. I don't know why you're making him tap. At least make him fade and pass out, right? Let's make him go out tough. Instead, you just have him tap out, and I don't understand that. But I am happy for Jey, and yeah, I mean, I guess we could also talk about the fact that the Monday Night Raw after we had Gunther put Pat McAfee in the sleeper. So that's interesting. Pat McAfee didn't tap out though, So that just defeats Gunther.
That's what I was
That
going to
defeats
say. I was
Gunther's
like,
credibility.
if we're going off storylines or like wrestling, Jay, like Gunther cannot take a submission, or Pat can deal with it better than Gunther. And also, Jey Uso, the submission specialist, like why is that the way to end the match? Like, I know Gunther did to him, but it wasn't also like Jay was tapping out when he would do it. He would pass out. Like, I mean, I'm glad Jay won. I mean, there's no way it's not a transitional championship. Like I say, 1 or 2 months, 3 months most.
He's losing to Seth.
I mean, like I was waiting for Gunther to come out. Like I don't know what I thought Gunther was gonna do, but pretty much he just let Michael Cole have like a like a pop for Michael Cole somehow. Like somehow. Also, what did they do? Like I know they were like, I don't know what, like were they saying like he was trash talking them during the match? Like I just don't know. He just comes out, shoves like a 50-year-old Michael
That
Cole.
was so funny.
Pat McAfee's the one to stand up to him. Like I thought like maybe someone else would come out and start a new storyline, or like maybe Uso or Jay comes out one last time, or Jim comes out and just ends it there.
Or Goldberg.
We're building. Here's another match. We're gonna build for a SummerSlam match between Pat McAfee and Gunther. Like, why are we doing this?
No. Michael
Wade
Cole
Barrett.
versus Gunther.
Michael Cole, yeah, bring back the orange.
I quit match that we got.
I heard people saying Wade Barrett. I think that would be interesting, but I don't think they're gonna do that.
No, yeah, it's just I don't. And the thing that pissed me off is a man can die from a chokehold, right? You've had Pat McAfee in there for 30 seconds, but the refs care more about Pat McAfee's friend jumping the barricade than the man getting choked out on the ground. Like, what are we doing?
That was literally dying. You see how red his face was? Oh my god, that was hilarious.
I'm happy for Jay, but I think I counted 3 super kicks. So it just ended. Like everyone was just like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, it was wild how fast he tapped.
Oh, yeah.
You want anything to that, Pete?
Yeah, I mean the match was pretty. We got like sidetracked. We started talking about Raw. I forgot what we were talking about for a second. The actual match at WrestleMania was good. I liked it. I think having Jey Uso win via submission was a little nutty. So that was a little weird. But yeah, I know that makes Gunther look weak. But they did it. Jey Uso is the champion. Good for him. Sell those Yeet shirts while you can. I thought that the night after, or 2 nights after, I thought Sami Zayn was going to turn heel.
I wanted to talk about
I thought Sami Zayn was going to kick him in the fucking head and then set up Sami Zayn versus Jay. I will say this. Heel Sami Zayn beating face Jey Uso for the world. If Sami Zayn is ever going to be world champion, it's him beating Jey Uso, I think. If that's ever going to happen, it's now, I think.
Yeah, I think they can still do it. Like, I know they didn't do it on Raw, but they teased it the way he was looking at him when he was on the turnbuckle. It can still happen, obviously, and it might not like happen at Backlash. Like, it could happen after that. Like, we don't know. Like, we can build things, but I think that's a killer first feud for Jay because, like, you look at like the feud for the world title. Like, it's obviously not going to be Gunther. Like, I don't think Seth and Braun are going to be involved with that yet. They're still dealing with Punk and Roman, so scratch them out of there. I think AJ Styles, he's still trending towards a heel turn, which I think will happen soon and could be a future feud, but we're not there yet. So I think Sammy's a great first opponent just because of the history they have with each other. It goes back to the Bloodline days. So turning him heel, I think would be huge. And whether Jay won or not, I wouldn't really care who won this match, but I think it would be a great personal feud.
100%. It's gonna be a great match no matter what happens because there's no way they don't do the match. And I think it's the definition of a safe first feud for Jay. You know, it's a great match, and I don't. Hopefully, if they do the Sammy heel turn, hopefully quick. Because no offense to Jay, I don't want like a super long reign. Not because I don't think he deserves it. I just think there's so many like mouths to feed, and like there's not going to be enough time to get everyone in a certain amount of reign, like a lengthy reign. So I feel like the better you get Jay to have his moment, then move on to hopefully Punk, hopefully maybe Braun. I don't know who would do it. Maybe Seth. Like, I'll be Damien. Like I don't know, but yeah, I think it's a good first feud for Jay.
Yeah. Yes, we can move over to the tag team title match at WrestleMania. That was a shit show between the New Day and the War Raiders. Maybe like a 10-minute at most match. This could have been on Raw. We were saying this. This could have been on Monday Night Raw. It was so bad and pointless. And we were literally like, me and Jake were watching it together. And literally when they won, I think we were just on our phones and we looked up like, oh, like the match is over? What the
I
like
was
you
getting
just see the
pizza. We were getting with the
yeah,
pizza with Domino's. I'm in the kitchen. All of a sudden, I think I hear you go, "Oh, the match is done."
yeah, like they're just running away with the title. Like, why couldn't we do that on Raw and then do the TLC match that's happening on SmackDown with the Profits, DIY, and Motor City Machine Guns? Why can't we just put that on WrestleMania? I don't know. I really still to this day don't understand. It infuriates me though.
Yeah, no, not too much to say. Shit could have been on Raw. Could have been on a Raw pre-show.
My favorite part was I forget if it happened before the match or after the match. They panned to the crowd and everyone was up out of their seats, either going to the bathroom, getting food, getting merch. It was a point where they panned to the crowd and no one was in the seats. I mean, the only funny part was it looked like Kofi Kingston's like legs. You see, I forget who it was, which one it was, but they landed on his legs. He just looked like he was in the most pain ever. So that was kind of funny. But like, it was just like to go from that Gunther finish where everyone was just like, why, to that is just like it got everyone so like I would say tired. Like it's just like nothing even happened. It was just like, oh, this is really boring. I'm getting tired. And like you said, we were all like on our phones. We are just like not really zoning, and we were just thinking about the main events. Or like it was just. I mean, I get good for New Day to win, even though I haven't cared about what they've done since the Usos feud since whatever year that was, 2017. So like, good for them, but. Kofi, please grow back a mustache. I still haven't got used to it. Please. It throws me off every time I see it.
Yeah, no, it's bad. Speaking of tag team title matches, we also had Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez defend the tag titles against Becky and Lyra at WrestleMania. It was supposed to be Bayley and Lyra, but obviously Bayley got mysteriously attacked and was replaced by a returning Becky Lynch at WrestleMania, which was very predictable, if we're being honest. And I thought the match was way too short. This is the WrestleMania match I'm talking about. We'll get into the Raw match as well. WrestleMania match was way too short, and I just thought they picked the wrong winner because Liv literally won the female superstar of the year with the Slammies, and she loses at WrestleMania to Becky. Why does Becky Lynch need a win? Like, she hasn't been around in like a year. Like, the only logical thing is, oh, she lost the title to Liv and then the rematch to Liv, but like, who cares? Like, she didn't need to win that, I guess, to elevate Lyra. But I thought Liv and Raquel should have retained because they got a rematch on Raw anyway and won the titles back. So what was the point of that? I don't know. And then obviously after the match, we got the Becky Lynch heel turn, which a lot of people saw coming. So I thought that was huge. I think that's needed for the Women's Intercontinental Championship because it hasn't had a real feud since it's been introduced. So super excited for that. And I don't know who would win that match between Becky and Lyra. But either way, it needs it. The title, it needs that feud because they can have a good storyline because Becky was like Lyra's mentor, right? They're both Irish girls, so you can do something with that. So glad they did that, but why couldn't they just do that on WrestleMania?
Yeah, no, I think the Becky heel turn was the right decision because they can do Becky and Lyra for the IC title. That's a good feud. However, I just thought it was kind of weird. I feel bad for Bayley, to be honest with you.
Bro.
I'm just like, damn. And I didn't watch it, but I know she did an interview with Chris Van Vliet, and a lot of people are kind of worried about her for the way she was talking, but like in terms of her mental state. But yeah, I feel bad for her. As far as Becky Lynch, heel turn, right decision. The way they did it, how winning the belts at WrestleMania and then losing them the next night. I don't know. Thought that was all kind of weird. I personally, I don't know why. I don't know what it is. I'm not a huge Becky Lynch fan. I kind of got bored of her in like 2019 and never recovered. I'm just kind of like, every time she comes out, I'm just kind of like, she's here. But that's just me, I guess. But yeah, no, that her and Lyra, that should be good for the IC title.
Oh, yeah. I know a lot of people were saying there was no way Becky was gonna lose, but like technically, if Lyra takes the pin, is Becky? I mean, technically she loses the match, but like Lyra took the pin, you could have done that. especially since now that we know that you're just going to give it to them the next night, the title's back. What was the point of that? And like Bailey getting, I thought maybe Bailey was like injured or something came up. Maybe she was sick or something. I was like, but no, like that pretty much sums up how Bailey's been treated the last year. Like you just made her lose, 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 and everyone's excited that maybe this is her moment to get like something interesting going, and you just take her out of the match beforehand. Like I don't know. I mean, I'm excited for the Becky heel turn, and it's funny that her and Seth turn it on the same night, or not same night, but like pretty much I think a day or two later. So that's gonna be interesting. I mean, the match was quick. I would be lying if I said I was fully invested in the match. More of, oh, Becky's back. Well, I still hope Liv wins. Like, but yeah, I don't know. I think what makes it worse is you could have maybe done the, oh, Becky can hold this for a little bit. Since we also found out on the post show that she said she's not going to even be part time, she's going to be full time. But then you just give it back to Liv and then the next night, which they've done a few times in like through the years, and it always pisses me off because it's just like that's kind of like cheating in the. It's like when Charlotte that like three. I hate to keep doing this, but it's like that those years where like Charlotte kept getting the title after like a few months where she was just put into the main event. It's just like cool, but like Charlotte, I don't know what number she's at. She's at 16 or 15. She's around there, and she keeps doing that. It's just like, buddy, you've done that, and like it was like 30-day reign. I don't know, but yeah, I think Becky as a heel is what I'm more interested in, to be honest, when she's around, and hopefully Bailey comes back and has a strong wrestling or year. Yeah, so
Yeah, I wonder if like they're gonna put the title on Becky, and then Becky and Bailey are gonna feud for SummerSlam
I hope so.
with all those matches. Um, but let's talk about that fatal four-way between Penta, Braun Breaker, Finn Balor, and Dominic Mysterio. With Dominic Mysterio winning his first singles title in WWE, this was awesome. We all called it. We all said, and we all wanted Dom to win at WrestleMania. And I think the way they did it was perfect. They executed it like amazing. Like you have obviously Dom about to win, about to splash on the Braun Breaker after hitting the 619, and then Finn Balor knocks him down off the ropes, and then Finn Balor looks like he's gonna win the title. And for a split second in my mind, I actually thought Finn was gonna win. That was stupid because Finn Balor doesn't win anything nowadays. So he hits the coup de grace on Braun, then he gets splashed by his Judgment Day partner in Dominic Mysterio. Dom pins him 1, 2, 3 to become the new champion. And this was awesome. Like he got such an ovation for winning the title, for being like a guy that isn't even like able to speak when he's cutting promos because he gets booed. Like everyone was so excited to see him win. I mean, everyone truly loves Dom, like out of like character. Like everyone loves that dude. And the ovation he got was awesome. Like you guys saw him run back to the ring to like get even more cheers going on the top rope. I thought that was awesome. I 100% think that he was the right winner in this match.
You know, the greatest Mysterio in the history of professional wrestling, right there.
John Cena said it.
Yeah, no. His dad Eddie must be really proud of him, but yeah, no. I think the history of Dominic Mysterio is just really funny. Like if you told people 5 years ago, oh yeah, there's going to be a stadium cheering for Dominic Mysterio to become champion, no one would believe you. But no, thought it was good. Thought the match was good. Thought the moment was good. I'm curious to see where the story is gonna go next with Finn Balor and everything like that. But he pinned Balor, and but, you know, I'm very interested to see where it goes next.
All I'm gonna say is please make Dom a face. I mean, I think I said it in one of the early podcasts, and a few people on the TikToks comments were just like, "No, I don't think he's ever gonna be at the point where he can be." Well, guess what? He is. I mean, even in the, did you guys see the post-show presser when he's outside and everyone's still cheering for him? Like he just, I mean, I think he's more interesting than his dad, and I don't know that's a hot take, but like it's just he has so much like behind him that's funny. Like Ray was kind of just always the underdog, and Ray is a legend. Don't get me wrong, but I think I just enjoyed Dom. Like he's so funny without even trying at points, so he's just entertaining. I think it's great for him that he has IC title now. And I think, was it last year or the year before that, that even though everyone still liked him, he lost the most matches in the company. I think it was last year. He took the most pins, and it still doesn't matter. So can you only imagine now that he has the IC title, what that's going to do for him? Mind you, he's probably going to be the slightly gets out of every match, like barely by cheating or something. I don't care. I mean,
He wins clean. I don't know what you're talking about.
no. But I mean, great match. I love this spot when they got Carlito to take a spear again.
Oh, that was awesome.
Which, by the way, God
Poor
bless
Carlito.
Braun and Carlito. 'Cause usually it's like a padded table. Apparently, like it was just a bunch of wood and like what else? It was like not metal. I forget what it was. It was just hard as hell. You can see it cut up Braun. I also thought Finn was gonna get it for a second, and in my back of my head, I was like, you know what? I would be excited, but I kind of wanted Dom, and there goes Dom. And I was excited. And it's one of those, there's certain people when they win a title, it just looks right with them. And I think this is one of the titles that just look right with the person that has it. Hopefully Dom has it for a little bit. I would be excited. Hopefully don't just make him lose to Finn.
Yeah.
Because I've said it in past episodes. I like Finn, but like I think his time has passed, even though he's never really had the moment, unfortunately. And it is kind of funny that they're teasing it. I'm excited to see what happens. And yeah, let's go. And Dom's still so young, so we have lots of time to see Dom, and I'm excited.
You guys think he's still gonna get booed when he talks?
No.
Imagine they just.
No.
I saw someone say, imagine they just like cheer and they don't stop when he's like talking. So it's still like annoying, but he's not getting. That would be so funny. I hope
mean,
they do that.
It might depend in certain cities, but I think even before he won the title, his his boos started to like slightly go away. But yeah, I think he has to turn face or even be a tweener. Like I
Yeah,
feel like
I think Tweener makes more sense
like
because
you don't have to logically tell him what he is. It's just whatever you want him to be. So
Tweener makes more sense to me because I don't want Dom going out there every week and like thanking the crowd and like doing that kind of like stuff because that's not him. But he also doesn't have to like scold the crowd. You know what I mean? So he can be kind of like a twin, like kind of like Braun Breaker was. Like he
yeah.
wasn't really doing that. Like he was feuding with bad guys, good guys. So like I think they can do that, but definitely I don't think he should be like like a generic babyface.
No, yeah. I think if he just does this sounds stupid. If he just doesn't acknowledge the crowd, whether they cheer or don't, like a tweener usually does, I feel like that would be perfect. Like just make him have a little more like face tendencies, but don't like make him such a like a polished person, but still give him that like his quote unquote dad's tendencies where like he would cheat, but like everyone loved him, so it didn't matter. So like a tweener, I'm excited to see what Dom does just in general. He's probably one of my favorite wrestlers right now. And it like Pete said, if you told like what Dom was when he first came into wrestling, like the joke of all, like the butt of all jokes, how he looked, how everyone was like criticizing him to now, it's just truly amazing.
Yeah, without a doubt. Another new champion. We had Jacob Fatu walk out with the United States Championship. Well, this was a solid match between him and LA Knight. I'm happy that no one got involved. Like there was no solo or bloodline stuff. So I'm happy that Jacob Fatu won the title. I think we all predicted he was gonna win the title, if I'm not mistaken. And like I think we all just wanted to go on like a crazy title run, right? Like kind of like Gunther's IC title run. So I think that would be best for him. And then maybe have him lose it like later down the line and like a fatal 4-way or ladder match, some match where he doesn't have to get pinned to lose it, and then move him to the main event scene.
Yeah, no, he'll lose to the SummerSlam and then he'll move up to the main event scene in the fall. But no, happy that he won. I thought it was the right move. Hopefully he has a good title reign with it. Jacob Fatu. It's one of those things. I think Big E said it that the company was trying to get Solo to be the guy, but Jacob Fatu just surpassed him.
He just outshined him, yeah.
He just outshined him. And that's what it is. Sucks to be Solo.
Wow, wow.
I don't got too much to add. I'm happy Fatu won. I'm not the biggest LA Knight fan. I don't think he's awful, but like he doesn't really do anything for me. Sucks that he has to have these 2 quick title reigns, but Jacob Fatu is amazing. I feel like this should be like him with the United States Championship is probably what is going to be like what Braun was with the IC title. Like it's just going to elevate him. It's going to elevate that division. And hopefully after that he can get into the main event. This is a good problem to have, but WWE's got so many main eventers now and in the future that they're building out there. It's a good issue to have, but yeah, I'm just excited to see what Fatu does with it. I got scared thinking Solo might maybe was going to cost him. Thankfully, he didn't. And now we get to see what Jacob Fatu can do. Hopefully on his own soon.
Yeah. I was going to ask you guys, what do you think's next for LA Knight, though? Because I know some people think he's a main event guy, but I don't know where exactly he's going to fit in there right now because the main event's loaded. But I also don't want him going back for the U.S. Championship because he's already held it twice. I feel like he's in a weird spot. I don't know what they're going to do with him next. So I'm interested to see on SmackDown if he's there and if he tells us what's next for him.
He's got to retire. I mean, no, but I mean, I think I agree with you. I never saw him as a main event talent. I mean, I don't think he's talented and all, but it's just one of those things for certain people. It was was it it was a chamber when Damian Priest was in it, all just well, he doesn't fit into this. There's the reference, but I don't know. Maybe he's probably gonna stay in the mid card, isn't he? Hopefully he doesn't try to go after Dom's title now. You know how funny that would be.
Oh, if he gets drafted over to the draft is coming up, so stuff could get shaken up. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, it would be funny, but I don't know what he's one of they're gonna figure something out to do with him. Am I gonna care? No. So, but yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say with LA Knight, trying to think where he can go from here. Realistically, him versus Cena for the WWE Championship, does that excite anyone that's not in LA Knight's family? I don't know. It's not I don't know.
I don't want them to do that. No, I want Punk, Orton, Styles.
That's what I'm saying, right?
If they did that, I wouldn't even watch the match, to be honest.
Think about the list of potential challengers for Cena's WWE Championship: CM Punk, Randy Orton, AJ Styles, LA Knight. And then,
dude, if they did that, if Cody Rhodes was getting booed going against Cena, what do they think is going to happen to LA Knight? They're basically just asking for the fans to turn on him. Only have Cena go against older guys that people have loved for years, like Randy Punk.
Yeah.
But all right, let's move on to the main event of night one. This will be the last thing that we talk about, and that was CM Punk taking on Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins in the main event of WrestleMania. Banger of a match, by the way. Best match on night one by far. This literally saved night one, and it's not up for debate. I thought the entrances were really cool. Punk coming out with Paul Heyman. You had This Fire Burns at the start of the song or the video, whatever you want to say. And Roman Reigns, casual entrance. I mean, he's just a cool guy. He doesn't need too much other than some pyro. And then you obviously had Seth Rollins' entrance, which I thought was really cool when he went from the all black to all white. I thought that was dope. He had the flamethrower as well. Really love the entrances. And like I said, the match itself was awesome. The chemistry was there. Just them brawling all over the arena at one point where Roman Reigns did a dive over the barricade, taking out both of them. I thought that was awesome. And then obviously we get late in the match and we see all three of these men down. And Paul Heyman grabs a chair. He's headed to the ring. Who's he going to get the chair to? He gives it to CM Punk. So it looks like he's going to side with Punk, turn on Roman until he low blows CM Punk. This is now the second time Punk's gotten turned on by Paul Heyman. I don't know why he keeps trusting him. But so it looks like, okay, Roman Reigns is still Paul Heyman's guy, right? He's still a Paul Heyman guy. And, Roman starts beating down Punk with the chair. And then Heyman points Roman into the direction of Seth Rollins, who's getting to his feet, tells him to hit him with a chair. And then as he's about to do that, he low blows him to align himself with Seth Rollins, which I called. I said it was going to happen, and I'm happy it did. He obviously gives Rollins the chair. Rollins hits both men, and then he stomps Reigns to pin Roman Reigns for the victory in this triple threat match. I predicted that he was going to win. I said that he deserved to win the match. He definitely did. He was the MVP of WrestleMania 40. And, with all the injuries he was dealing with, I felt like he 100% deserved this win. So I'm super happy for Seth. And obviously can't wait to see where they go with this story now with Seth and Paul Heyman.
I thought it was a really good match. I was really excited for it. I really liked Living Color performing Punk's song, and I liked the video as well. I just thought everything was cool. It was like Punk finally getting his moment, finally made him running WrestleMania. Like that was really fucking cool. The match I thought was good. Um, Throughout the match, I was thinking, okay, like I got an idea of what was going to happen. Um, right. I mean, CM Punk is one of the rare guys that make when I watch wrestling, I watch it as a fan, and I don't watch it as, oh, here's what I think should happen. I genuinely just get invested. I'm like, let's go, Punk, come on. But it was the right decision to have Seth, get with Paul's to align
Well, the way Heyman's looking at him, you might think that.
to get with Heyman and win the match. But one thing that I hope gets revealed is why. I mean, Paul Heyman says, "Oh, Punk screwed me. I didn't screw him." He said that on Raw. I would like to expand more on that and like figure out why, like get an actual reason. But
No, I think the match was as expected, great. I mean, the hype video for Punk was excellent. Seth coming out in the all white outfit was great. Roman didn't really change much, but doesn't really have to. The all white with his glove and boots were pretty good fit. Match was great. Match was great. I think we all, like you guys said, I kind of knew where it was going once they all were laying there. I'm excited to see where it's going. I mean, like you said, Paul hasn't revealed much. I mean, first of all, his appearance on Pat McAfee was interesting to say the least.
Oh my god, that was hilarious.
So he kind of revealed a little bit. I think we're gonna learn more. He kind of is trying to say that it's kind of obvious Roman was gonna do what he always does and gets rid of people once he can't get anything out of them. Which, by the way, Roman needs to go to therapy, with the amount of people that's betrayed him. And then he said Punk screwed Punk. If Punk didn't do this, he wouldn't have turned on him, which is knowing Paul Heyman's history, that's probably not true. I think it gives Seth something finally interesting to do because I've loved Seth for a while, but it's kind of just been like Seth's one of the top talents. That's why he's here. He carries his company. Now, we can just talk about it because it's probably the last point we're going to talk about. But now he's in a stable with Braun Breaker, which I missed something, but I wasn't expecting it to be Braun. There probably was something on the internet rumors, but I didn't see it, so that was a nice surprise for me. I think it's going to be great. Like Brennan said before the podcast, it's kind of like evolution a little bit, which I can see. I think this is good. This is a perfect way to transition Braun into the main event because I was curious of what they were going to do with him right after. And Braun, he's never a bad promo, but he's just one of those average ones. So now you can just put Paul as his voice, which is always great. I feel like someone else is going to get added. I don't know who yet. That could be a whole nother discussion for another video of who we think or a TikTok short. But I think it's a great faction. I can't wait to see what they do. And hopefully they both get a title. Like, I don't know what they would both grab, but honestly, this is a random thought. I would so take like a Braun wins the world heavyweight title and Seth gets one of the mid cards, or they get the tag team. I don't know. It would be interesting. I would love it. I'm excited to see what they're going to do. It seems like we're going to get a tag team of Braun and Seth against Punk and Roman, and I hope Braun and Seth win that, and they don't just get buried instantly. And hopefully, this keeps. I would honestly love this faction to stay together until maybe next Mania. I would love to see what happens. I'm excited to see what Seth does because I think we can all agree as much as we love Seth in general, he's so much better as a heel, more entertaining. His style, it just fits him better. So, yeah, I think it's a great way. It was a great Raw. It really helped boost what a shame Mania was. And it was one of the better post Manias Raws in a while, in my opinion. I mean, the last year wasn't bad. The year before kind of sucked from what I remember. But yeah, I'm excited to see this. Really, just Triple H is good at anything. He's good at building like excitement right after Mania for next Mania. So I'm excited to see what happens with Seth and Braun. But overall, good match. and I'm excited to see what happens.
Yeah, no, I am absolutely fired up for this. I think that WWE needed like a stable because like it's always just been like bloodline, whatever. We needed like a cool stable like this. So to see like Seth, Braun, and Heyman standing next to each other, I thought that was awesome. I do think that they should add one more guy. I hear like a lot of names floating around like Carmelo Hayes, Austin Theory, Ethan Page from NXT. I'd like any of those guys, but I feel like with Carmelo Hayes being involved with the Miz, he's not going to happen. Austin Theory, they have not booked well at all. Like he's kind of like a joke right now, right? He lost to Jey Uso in like 5 seconds. So adding him into this stable, like nobody's going to take him serious. So I actually do think Ethan Page is the best option for this group, but I don't care who they go with, to be honest. Just super excited for it. And they've been like kind of like teasing this for a while because in 2023 they had Paul Heyman like with Braun Breaker and NXT and saying like Braun's the next big thing. So it was bound to happen. Like I didn't think it was gonna happen this soon. I thought it was gonna happen maybe in like a year or two down the line or whatever. But I'm okay with it happening now. And like you said, they're gonna do the tag match between Braun and Seth and Punk and Roman, probably a Backlash. And as crazy a tag team as Punk and Roman is, they have to lose this match, unfortunately, to build Braun and Seth as this new stable. And I think that's where they would debut a new member so that they don't win clean against Punk and Roman. So you're not really like hurting Punk or Roman Reigns. So I think that they'll do that. And I think that Braun Breaker should win the Money in the Bank now that they're strapping a damn rocket to his back. I think he should win Money in the Bank. I think Seth should win the World Heavyweight Championship. And then, kind of like throughout the whole summer, you have Seth with the title, Braun with the briefcase. And it's kind of like, oh, is Braun going to turn on Seth? Because you know damn well eventually Braun and Seth, like one of them's going to turn on the other. It'll probably be Braun and Heyman turning on Seth and Braun winning the world title. That's my prediction for that. But like I said, I'm super, super pumped for this stable.
Yeah, no, I'm real excited for the stable. The way usually when Heyman says something, it means something or it's foreshadowing something. So when he said something along the lines of "This is going to take us to WrestleMania 42," that's signaling something. Whether it's they're signaling already Seth versus Braun Breaker next year at WrestleMania or Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns, I don't know. But they're obviously signaling something huge. Whether Rollins is going to get the World Heavyweight Championship sometime this summer at SummerSlam against Jey Uso, I don't know. But either way, very interested in what they're going to do with this. If they're going to do Punk versus Rollins again, which, we did see it a lot, but now it has a different variable with Paul Heyman being with Seth, or if they're going to do Seth versus Roman now and not next year WrestleMania. I don't know what the fuck they're going to do, but I'm excited.
The last thing I gotta add is the thing I really like about Seth winning is they can still do the one person that's Roman's kryptonite, Seth. Even though they end it a little fishy, I just love that they could like have like it's always. I just love when they do that, and I think it's amazing that Seth can hopefully always have that. Like I don't know, I can't tell you who I'd want to win if they ever had a Mania match, but I just love,
It should be Roman, just because Seth's had his number for all these years. It would make sense.
I just love it now. I think like Seth's always going to use that until Roman wins, which is always great because it could get in Roman's head, which it kind of has already. But yeah, I'm excited for what is ahead.
Yeah, 100%. All right, guys, that's going to do it for today's podcast. If you guys like this video, make sure to like. Don't forget to subscribe, turn on post notifications, and check out our TikTok. I'm going to link that down in the description. And yeah, guys, we'll see you in the next one. Peace.